The grand ballroom of the luxurious Chateau Royal Hotel was alive with energy. Crystal chandeliers cast a golden glow across the room as Hollywood's elite mingled, sipping expensive champagne and exchanging polite yet calculated conversations. Waiters in pristine uniforms moved seamlessly through the crowd, offering gourmet hors d'oeuvres on silver trays. The air was thick with ambition. Whispers of future projects, collaborations, and unspoken rivalries filled every corner. Laughter and applause occasionally punctuated the murmurs. But beneath it all was an underlying tension, a silent competition for power, status, and recognition. It was the night of an exclusive charity gala, an event where celebrities, industry insiders, and high-profile journalists gathered under the guise of philanthropy. But in reality, it was just another battlefield, a place where careers could be made or destroyed by a single conversation. At the center of it all was Robert Downey Jr., dressed in a sleek black tuxedo. His signature charm radiated as he navigated through the crowd. He had been to countless events like this before, but tonight, something felt different. There was an undeniable tension in the air. He could feel the watchful eyes, the silent judgments, and the carefully concealed curiosity that always seemed to follow him. This wasn't just another Hollywood gathering, it was an unspoken test. A few feet away, sipping his champagne with a smug expression, was Richard Caldwell, a well-known film critic and TV host infamous for his sharp tongue and ruthless critiques. Richard had never been a fan of Downey Jr. He viewed him as a Hollywood relic, a man who had ridden on the nostalgia of one successful franchise and was now desperately trying to stay relevant. Turning to a fellow journalist, he smirked. "Look at him, still playing the charismatic star. But let's be real. Once the suit came off, so did his career. The industry doesn't have patience for actors who peak and then coast." His companion chuckled awkwardly, sensing the venom in Richard's words but hesitant to engage. Before anyone could respond, the event host took the stage, signaling the next segment of the evening. After a few speeches and charity pledges, the night moved on to its main segment, a live Q&A with Hollywood's biggest names. Guests whispered excitedly, knowing this portion often led to some of the most candid and controversial moments. The tension in the air thickened as anticipation built. As expected, Robert Downey Jr. was one of the featured guests. As soon as the session opened, Richard saw his opportunity. Without hesitation, he grabbed the microphone, standing up with a confident smirk. "Mr. Downey," he began, his voice dripping with condescension, "you've had quite a journey, troubled past, rehab, arrests, and then somehow landing the role of Iron Man, which, let's be honest, pretty much saved your career. But here's the thing, Hollywood loves a redemption story. Do you really think you're still relevant outside of that narrative? Or are you just another washed-up actor trying to hold on?" A ripple of unease spread across the ballroom. The question wasn't just bold, it was a direct attempt to humiliate Downey Jr. in front of his peers. Some guests exchanged nervous glances, while others leaned in, eager to see how he would respond. The air buzzed with silent anticipation, but Downey Jr. didn't flinch. Instead, he took a slow, measured sip of his drink, his expression unreadable. Then, with his signature wit, he set the glass down and smiled. "That's an interesting take, Richard," he said, his voice calm yet laced with something sharper. "But tell me, what defines relevance to you? Box office numbers, critical acclaim, or maybe the ability to inspire and evolve?" Richard, sensing an opening, leaned forward. "Well, in Hollywood, it's about staying at the top. And let's be real, no one's casting you as Iron Man again." A few guests chuckled, but Downey Jr. remained unfazed. With a knowing smile, he adjusted his cufflinks before responding. "You're absolutely right. I won't be Iron Man again, and I wouldn't want to be." The room went silent. Relevance isn't about clinging to the past. It's about evolving, growing, and finding new ways to contribute. If my past serves as proof that people can change, that second chances matter, then I'm perfectly fine with being a comeback story. Richard scoffed. "That's a cute answer, Robert. But let's be honest. If you weren't Iron Man, we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's what made you valuable. Without it, you're just another actor struggling to stay in the headlines." Downey Jr. smirked. "And yet here we are having this conversation. If I was as irrelevant as you claim, you wouldn't feel the need to bring it up." Richard's smirk wavered slightly. He hadn't expected that response. Downey Jr. leaned forward, his eyes now locked onto Richard's. Let me ask you this. What have you built? You've made a career tearing others down. But have you ever created anything yourself? Put yourself on the line? Risked failure? Fought to come back from it? Or is your entire legacy based on pointing fingers at others? Richard opened his mouth to interject, but Downey Jr. wasn't finished. I may not be Iron Man anymore, but I'm still standing, still creating, still evolving. What about you? If your show got canceled tomorrow, if your microphone was taken away, what would be left of your impact? Would anyone remember what you built, or would they only remember the people you tried to tear down? The crowd murmured, sensing the shift in momentum. Richard fumbled for words. He had never been challenged like this before. A guest in the back called out, "He's got a point!" The applause started slow but grew to an overwhelming roar. Downey Jr. had not only defended himself, he had turned the entire situation into a lesson. Another voice chimed in, "Maybe critics should try building something instead of tearing others down." Richard's face turned red as murmurs spread across the room. Some journalists averted their gaze, perhaps realizing the truth in Downey Jr.'s words. Others nodded in quiet agreement, while some guests even stood in admiration. The energy in the room shifted entirely. What started as an attempt to humiliate one man had instead showcased his strength, intellect, and resilience. Richard sat back down, his face tight, his confidence shaken. The room had spoken. Robert Downey Jr.'s story is a testament to resilience, reinvention, and never letting the past define you. He proved that real success isn't about staying at the top. It's about rising after every fall. What do you think? Did Downey handle this situation perfectly? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love stories of inspiration, redemption, and standing up to arrogance, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing stories. See you in the next video.